Hello lovers of good cars. Welcome. Today we will talk about one of the greatest expressions of art on wheels, because, although all artists have their particular point of view, only some of them have a point of view that is attractive to others. Similarly, some works of art are not appreciated until after some time has elapsed. This is the case of this exotic piece of Italian engineering, the Alfa Romeo Montreal. A car that stands out for its daring and innovative design under the faithful concept of the sports cars of its time and its powerhouse, the centenary, Alfa Romeo, which has achieved so many successes throughout its history, both on and off the tracks.
The birth of a forgotten jewel.
The Montreal model has a peculiar history, I will tell you. In 1967, Canada's centennial was celebrated. This year-long celebration was held to celebrate the centennial of the Canadian Confederation. The theme of the event was cutting-edge technology. This was taken advantage of by many companies that wanted to expand, as the occasion became a tourist and business event that captured the attention of the entire planet. That's where Alfa Romeo presents a prototype at Expo 67 in Montreal. The prototype was a coupe that uses the 1,600-liter engine of the Alfa Romeo Giulia T and the chassis of the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GT, with a body designed by Marcello Gandini de Bertone, the same one who designed famous Lamborghini models, such as the Miura, the Lamborghini Countach and the Lamborghini Diablo.
Wow!
So it is easy to identify a certain resemblance between all these models. The prototype already mentioned was presented without any name, only under the name of Alfa Romeo as a futuristic vehicle concept. The design of the car caused a great impact, although not so much its performance, as the public was not happy with such a small engine for a passenger car with the fresh and distinctive image of Italian sports cars. Even so, the car was called by the public as the Alfa Romeo of Montreal. And hence its name. The Lombard house took note and got to work on modifications to its new model. The first production car was unveiled at the 1970 Geneva Motor Show and was very different from the original, using a 2,600-liter 90-degree direct-injection V8 engine producing 200 brake horsepower, alongside a ZF 5-speed manual transmission. This engine is derived from the 2-liter V8 used in the Type 33 Straight-Ale and the 33 Racing prototype. The Montreal's chassis was taken from the Giulia GTV coupe. Since the model was unofficially known as the Montreal, Alfa Romeo kept the model name in production. Given the care put into every detail of this car, during the 7 years of its manufacture it remained generally unchanged. This car represents the competitive, risky and innovative essence that has always characterized Alfa Romeo, with everything necessary to have become a benchmark in the automotive sector of its time. But then,
It's better to fall into grace than to be gracious.
as this saying teaches us, Montreal endowed itself with the necessary qualities to dominate its segment and make history, but the winds blew against it from its inception. Since at that time the oil crisis of the 70s began and these cars with a powerful V8 engine went into decline. In addition to the fact that the price of this was considered high by buyers at the time. And speaking of sales, curiously, the Montreal model could not be sold in Canada or North America because it did not comply with emissions regulations. This broth of ingredients was more than enough for the Alfa Romeo Montreal to become a major commercial failure, producing only a total of 3,917 units, becoming a scarce, unsought-after and undervalued model for a long time.
Rising from the ashes,
However, like any rare work of art, the Alfa Romeo Montreal, as the years go by it has been rediscovered and gaining value because it is impossible to overlook the quality and care put into every detail of this rarity by connoisseurs of authentic good machines. This is one of those models that have its own spirit and personality, which transport us to a time that completely marked the design of sports cars to this day. Let's celebrate the resurgence of this forgotten work of art, which shows us that the quality and unique touch of artists prevails despite not having been recognized at first. The Alfa Romeo Montreal, a forgotten gem that we add to the list of the new classics.
If you liked the video, subscribe, share, leave your comment, so that we continue to grow as a community and bring these beauties on wheels back to light.